Assalamu alaikum. Here is another gem of Sheikh Sharawi rahmahullah.
ولقد أرسلنا إلى من قبلك فأخذناهم بالبأساء والضراء لعلهم يتضرعون.
We have sent to nations before you, and we try them with hardship and harm, in order that they come to us in humility, supplicating.
من قبلك أرسلنا لهم رسل طبعا وأرسلنا رسل بآيات وبما.
Nations before you, we send them messengers like you, and we send them verses and signs of miracles, and we send them methodology, spiritual and civil methodology.
منهج وبعد ذلك برضو قابلوا رسلهم بما قابل به قومك.
And they treated their messenger negatively, same like they treated you, your nation now.
رسالتك فأخذناهم بالبأساء والضراء.
So accordingly, we subjugated them to hardship and harm, kind of like light punishment, not killing them. Okay?
بأساء الشدائد والضراء الشيء اللي يضر. إما
something harmful, something hardship.
في النفس إما في المال.
Maybe some in one person or one of his belongings, like the wealth, so like a different arrangement.
مرض أو فقر أو
or sickness or poverty.
لعلهم.
Why? In order that in humility they come to us supplicating, like worshiping Allah. Allah created people to worship Him.
يتضرعون لعلهم يتضرعون لمن؟
To whom they will make tadarru' and worshiping and supplication? To Allah.
يتضرعون لله.
لله, for Allah.
إذن الحق سبحانه وتعالى حين يمس بالبأساء والضراء.
So the truth Allah, the truthful Allah, when He subjugate people to hardship and some harm,
لا يريد إلا أن الإنسان يعمل لنفسه امتحان.
He just wants to draw their attention that everybody examine himself, like going through exam.
يقول له روح بقى للي أنت مؤمن بهم دول شوف يا.
So go ahead and go to the one you worship, cow, river, Trinity, whatever. Let it remove this hardship and harm. So of course he failed. So now he come to Allah himself and ask him to remove it. Means you become believer, then the environment will get improved.
يرفعوا عنك ولا ما يرفعوش؟ يبقوا مش هيرفعوا، يبقى هيجي لمين؟ يجي لإيه؟ لربنا.
So the conclusion is clear. They go to the false deities, ask them, they don't, then they come back to Allah, the true creator. And I think maybe you heard in India few months ago after corona virus, many people worship statues and different things in the temple. They took them and throw them in the river because they didn't save them from corona. And it's true to many culture when they have false deity who cannot of course do anything because they cannot harm or benefit. They are statues. Give me a break.
لما يجي ربنا كان يجب انه يعمل ايه بقى؟ يتضرع اليه، ولما يتضرع اليه النهارده يقول لا خليك وياه ايه؟ وياك على طول. فلولا إذ جاءهم بأسنا تضرعوا ولكن قست قلوبهم.
But again you will have group of people who will do that, but there is a lot who their heart will turn stronger like stones, and they have no clue, or they are headless. They don't care about this warning from the heaven that hey, correct yourself, adjust yourself.
ولكن قست قلوبهم فلولا إذ جاءهم بأسنا. لولا يعني بيحضهم على أنه إذا مسكم البأس يبقى إيه؟ ضل من تدعون إلا إياه في آية.
And in another verse, when the hardship comes, those who you usually supplicate to false deity, they run away, they don't respond to you, they become an error, useless.
ظل من تدعون إلا إياه.
Except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's the only one you call upon, and he responds because he's the true creator. So back to their heart is become solid, have no light on it, and they don't want to go along to be a good believer.
لكن قست قلوبهم وزين لهم الشيطان ما كانوا يعملون.
In addition, Satan start decorating for them what they are doing. Oh, you are doing okay, don't worry about it. Forget about this prophet and the Quran and prophetic saying and divine hadith and all this guidance. Just keep doing whatever shit you are doing.
ليه؟ لأنه يقول لك إن كان الضر ده مثلا مسك شوية ما تروحش للإله اللي هيربطك لأنه هيمنعك عن شهوات إيه؟ عن شهوات.
Why? Because if you will go to this true God, He will constitute new order in which you will have lesser, you will not harm others, you will not indulge in wrong appetite behavior, okay, like raping and getting drunk and killing and stealing and bribes and all this wrong breaking all the 10 commandments and more.
شهوات كتيرة قوي، فابعد عن الحكاية دي واستحمل الشوية دول كده يمكن ايه.
So whatever punishment came now, just steadfast, hang around till it goes out and we continue back to the fun.
يمكن ينتهم نعم. ولكن قست قلوبهم وزين لهم الشيطان ما كانوا ايه يعملون. قست قلوبهم معنى قسوة القلب إن ما ينفذش إليه الهدى.
And the heart, when it gets strong, string like a stone, it means become harsh, hard heart, means no guidance can pierce and get into it.
كلا بل ران على قلوبهم. ران على قلوبهم يعني عمل ايه؟ غفلة جت في
meaning that in another verse that dirt start covering of headless and not paying attention to the voices of the truth from the angel and from the prophet and from the Quran and the good sincere admonishers. So this make the heart laden with a lot of dirty, like a dirty engine or something.
غفلة وبعدين عملت ايه؟ طبقة كبيرة قوي، وما دام طبقة كبيرة يبقى ما ينفذش له قول الايه؟
And that thick dirt became bigger and bigger and becomes very hard that it pierces it, guidance and cross and get in.
قول الحق ولكن قست قلوبهم وزين لهم الشيطان ما كانوا يعملون فلما نسوا ما ذكروا به.
So when they have forgotten what they were given as reminders of the truth of the spirituality and divinity and the messagehood and the holy books and so forth.
فتحنا عليهم أبواب كل شيء.
And when this happened, we open doors of everything for them, all of it.
فلما نسوا ما ذكروا به. ذكروا به بواسطة مين؟ الرسل. الله، طب ده معنى ذكروا به إن كان عندهم فكرة عن الموضوع ده.
Which means, reminders means they were given before, guidance by prophets before, they have a good idea. But they forgot the whole thing. Then come another prophet or messenger, they again disregard, headless. So Allah, when they reach that stage, that prophet after prophet is not helping them, guidance, holy book, the divine hadith, prophetic hadith, wisdom, all this doesn't work, then Allah opened all doors for them loose.
بس نسيوه. فالرسل جاءوا ايه؟ بيذكروا بس، يقول لك ايوه لأن إيمان الفطرة السليمة إن أي واحد يعيش في الكون محاط بالنعم.
So the messenger in reality is not like bringing something new. The messenger is just a reminder, because any upright person we created in this universe and see all the favor of Allah and all these benefits subjugated to human, from plant and from animal and the air and the rain and all this different life cycle around him, he has an upright, natural belief in the Creator. Okay? As a matter of fact, he didn't say that. I'm saying the Greek philosophy, they were saying if we can just talk to the Creator, this spiritual thing, metaphysic, we cannot just talk to make it up without conversation. If he sent us something, Socrates said, if we talk about it, is as crossing the ocean on a log of wood. So what make them to anticipate there is something there? Because it's upright nature, though they are masters of philosophy and wisdom and the physique, they know there's something beyond it, but they didn't have contacts, so they admitted to that.
الواسعة التي لا يد له فيها ولا يد لمثله فيها ولم يدعها أحد ومشي على أحدث نظام كده وعايش عيشة.
So when that person live, one of us living in this universe, and nobody claim he's a creator but one, and nobody took credit for it but one, and so naturally you are going to this absolute power of divinity and admit that you are just an element of worshipping into this whole universe.
كده كان يجب انه يعيش في ايه؟ انه يعيش في فلك الحمد لمولي هذه النعم.
So he has only to live in a thankful environment for this Creator who shower us with all these favors and convenience.
يعني إن كان ده الانسان اذا واحد قدم له لقمه وياكلها بيقول له كتر خيرك ولا فما بالك كل النعم المحيطه.
So if one come and invite you for a meal, give you sandwich, you become so grateful and thankful just for one meal. How about for the one who give you everything?
طبيك دي كان يصح انك انت تعيش في غير حمد المنعم.
So can you live without thanking him? You forgot the guy gave you the sandwich? This is the Creator created everything for you. Aren't you going to be continuously thanking him?
فلما نسوا ما ذكروا به، التذكير ده إما بواسطة الرسالات التي تتوالى وإما بواسطة النعم التي تقرعه كل يوم. هب أن إنسان غافل عن نعمة الله في الطعام وبعدين جاء في آخر لحظة وجاع وبعدين قاعد يشتهي الأكل كده وبتاع وحاجات دي والسيارة بطيت بيه شوية ولا راح لقاهم لسه ما طبخوش ويبقى قاعد متحرك كده على ما تجيله النعمة وياكلها. طب يا أخي كنت ناسي وأنت شبعان. طب ساعة الجوع ما لدعك كده وبعدين جيت لقيت الأكل الحلو ده ما تذكرش
So like imagine one guy, his tummy is full and enjoyed himself and everything. Then he become hungry, drive the car hungry, going home, start asking, did you guys cooked yet? Not yet, start feeling hungry. So Sheikh Sharawi is saying, now you remember that the eating well was great and now you are hungry and need for the food. You forgot to thank the Creator for all these facilities and all these favors. Now you know you are hungry. Now you should appreciate food.
مين اللي قال لك؟ طب انت ماشي في الشمس كده ومحرقه والدنيا مش عارف وبعدين لقيت ظل شجره ظليل كده وقعدت في ريحه
And it is true too, you are going in the sun, is so hot, then suddenly you find a beautiful tree underneath its shade, you just go underneath and enjoy it.
بعدين لقيت واحد راجل طيب جايب زير في ريحها كده ومش عارف ايه وحاطط فيها الميه ومش عارف ايه وعايز يعملها سبيل لله كده وقاعد يا مش عارف ايه بقى دي نعمه ما تشكر.
So here is another favor. So you can count thousands and thousands of favors. This tree, maybe a guy bought water jug as a charity, people come, they can drink and so forth. So there are a lot of favors.
ماشي. يبقى فلما نسوا ما ذكروا به إما أن يكون بواسطة الإخبار من الرسل بأن المنعم هو الله ويذكرهم بالمنهج، أو أن كل نعمة تمر على الإنسان في أي لحظة من اللحظات كان يجب أنه يتنبه إلى إيه؟
So when they have forgotten what they have been reminded of, either by the messenger comes and detailing everything by giving a methodology and giving the messages, the words of God, or that naturally every favor in this life when crossed by you, you should pay attention to it and be thankful for it.
لمعطيه ساعة ما يجي يلبس لباس كده ويزينه، حتى بلاش يستر عورته، لباس يزينه كده، ما يقعدش يذكر يا سلام ايه اللي عمل الحاجه اللطيفه دي، واللي علم الواد ينسج دي، واللي علم مش عارف ايه، والارض اللي طلعت القط، واللي مش عارف شغلانه كبيره، جهاز طويل عليه عشان ايه؟ يبقى دي تذكر ولا ما تذكرش؟ فلا يعني خدوا النعم ولا تذكروش المنعم.
Look at your even dress, cotton dress. It went through a long life cycle of planting cotton and weaving it and tailor, fashion design and so what you do, you just wear it, buy it or get gift or something, and you forget about all the train and traces of favor from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the forgiveness which the verse is talking about, it when they have forgotten what we gave them as a reminder via messenger or the favor itself, as if the favor is speaking to you, every one of them talking to you, say thank who sent me to you.
لما نسوا ما ذكروا به قال لهم طيب كان المنطق نقول لما نسوا ما ذكروا به ناخد ما ذكروا به دي ونحرمهم منه، أما قال لك لا.
So the logic, our limit logic will be, okay, you are not grateful, I take everything from you. But Allah said something differently.
اوعى تحرمه من الرتيب، لازم عايز بقى يعني تديله بقى فلما نسوا ما ذكروا به فتحنا عليهم ابواب كل شيء، ادنا له نعم اكتر.
So we gave them doors of all more favors. They didn't thank for the first, do you think they will thank for the last? So this will be like punishment in kind, because he will be taking to account for more and more favors he never thanked for.
الله ده منطقي بقى، لما ينسى اللي ذكر بيه نديله نعم اكتر. يقول لك ايه؟ ما انت تستنى تشوف انا عامل فيه ايه. لما نديله نعم اكتر يقوم ايه؟ يتعود لونا من الحياه ولونا من العز ولونا من الجاه ولونا من السيطره.
So he get accustomed to luxury and so later when it's taking from him, it is really rough and tough.
والمكانه والبتاع وحاجات زي دي، وبعدين ناخذهم بغته، انما اخذه هو صغير.
Then we take them suddenly. They are not planned for it.
لسه كده يعني كده، لا ما تنفعش دي، ده لازم اخليه يعمل ايه؟ احنا قلنا زمان ما فيش حد بيقع من على الحصيره، لازم.
Nobody fell down from the floor. He has to fall from something very high. So he get height mountain of favors and he's on top of it enjoying it, then he dropped dead.
يعليه شويه كده عشان يجي الهدر ايه؟ ما هو مسك عدوه كده ورفعه وقال هو هيهشكه ولا لا؟ قال له ده هيرزعه. طب يعليه كده عشان الرزعه تيجي جنبه. اهي كذلك فان رايت انسان اسرف على نفسه ووسع عليه في نظام الحياه اوعى تتفتن وتقول
So when you see a person getting a lot of abundance and he's not grateful and not good believer, be warned. He's into soon trace of tears.
ده عمال يعلي فيه وبيديله نمط من الحياه عالي 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 قوي علشان لما ينزلوا على جدور ايه؟ على جدور. او ده اللي بيحصل ولا ما بيحصل شيء؟ لازم يركبوا العربيات الفارهه ويسكنوا في القصور اللي مش عارف ايه ويعيشوا مش عارف، وبعدين يروح واخدها منه. تبقى الهدر جامد ولا مش جامد؟ فلما نسوا ما ذكروا به فتحنا عليهم أبواب كل شيء، مش فتحنا لهم. شوف الدقة في العبارة، ولذلك قال مش فتحنا عليك، إنا فتحنا لك لصالحك، إنما فتح عليك يجي مصيبته عليك أنت.
He said, he didn't say we open for them. He said he opened above them. And this show the planning. When you say open for you, will be like a favor for you, for your goodness. But over you, this is like overwhelming going to happen.
هو ده بقى الايه الاستدراك، نعمة الاستدراك. تبقى فتحنا ايه على.
This is istidrak means trapping you. So now you got punishment in kind. You become ungrateful for favor, you get a trap of more favors, and you get bold, and you get into this bankruptcy then.
عليهم، مش فتحنا ايه لهم. فلما نسوا ما ذكروا به فتحنا عليهم ابواب كل شيء. يقول لك يا اخويا ده بيلعب في التراب تطلع فلوس، راجل مش عارف ايه بيطلع بيعمل. ايوه يا سيدي بس استنى شويه.
So they describe him, that person, he touch any dust become gold, he extreme lucky, he's one of the top 100 richest person in the neighborhood or in the country or the world, but you don't know what the heck is going to happen to him.
على مين؟ فتحنا عليهم أبواب كل شيء حتى إذا فرحوا.
So we open above them the doors of everything till they are so happy and in pleasure of what they have been given.
بما أوتوا أخذناهم بغتة.
We took them suddenly. You say so and so, he make $9,000 a second in his business, where he monopoly and hurt people and block people and kill different industries, and he's taking over the universe and playing games. Then this is going to happen.
الله اسمه الإذلال القسري. الإذلال الإيه؟ القسري. فرح بما أوتوا، ما دام فرح نروح جايبين له القبض في وقت الفرح.
So he get incarcerated when he's happy with it. So he's in the top of the pleasure and happiness and everything in order. Then the hit comes. So he lost $300 billion in less than 1 hour or in a day.
في وقت الايه؟ الفرح. ولذلك لما تشوف مثلا ناس عاملين مثلا فرح كده وبتاع وحاجات زي دي، وبعدين في الفرح كده التفتنا لقينا العريس جرى له حاجه ولا العروسه جرى لها حاجه. شوف بقى المساله بقى مشت الحادثات في غرف الحمراء مشي النعي في دار عرسي. تبقى دي البلوى ولا
And in poems they say this problem is like condolence on the night of marriage. Like they are throwing a party of a great marriage, then suddenly the bride or the groom drop dead or some things happen. So turn upside down and the pleasure of happiness of marriage turn into funeral.
حتى إذا فرحوا بإيه؟ بما أوتوا أخذناهم بغتة. وشوف كلمة إذا أوتوا بما أوتوا، يعني أنتوا حتى ما خدتوش الحكاية اللي جت نعمة عليكم دي من شطارتكم، ده احنا برضو مهدنا لكم بمغفلين وبمرتشين وبناس مش عارف.
So it is not the favor by their doing. They were giving it through corruption of bribe and monopoly, and that is not by their even hard working, and they build up all this wealth and put palaces and architect and fashion design and all kind of decorating design and built houses and high skyscraper and rich neighborhood and yacht and everything, all manners of pleasure.
عارف ايه عشان ايه ييسروا لكم المسائل. حتى اذا فرحوا بما اوتوا اخذناهم بغته. كلمه بغته دي، البغته هو الحدث الضار المفاجئ بلا مقدمات. ليه؟ لان لما تكون في مقدمات يمكن اللي يقع.
Sudden means very harmful without any tips of introduction or anything.
يخليك تحتاط. اليقظة يخليك ايه؟ يخليك تحتاط.
Because if as such sudden you cannot prepare yourself.
لكن مرة يقول إن أتاكم عذاب الله بغتة أو جهرة. يجي بغتة مرة ويجي إيه؟ ويجي.
And the punishment of Allah it comes sometimes sudden and sometimes openly.
يجي جهرة مرة، علشان ما هو يمكن واحد يقول لك ده هو خدنا على بغتة، ده أنا لو كنت بقى يعني عرفت الحكاية دي كنت احتطت ونفدت مني. يقولوا لا هنديك بغتة ونديك جهرة عشان ما تبقاش تقول كده.
So it alternates, so you cannot figure out what is the next one. So sometime you can see the wind coming and earth turn upside down and destroy the town openly. And sometime a call come and turn everybody dead.
لا انت شاطر تدفع البغتة ولا انت قادر تدفع الايه؟ ما هو لو قال بغتة بس يقول ده بيتسلل اليها من خفاء. ده لو كنت انا عارف الحكايه دي كنت ايه؟ يقوم يجي له جهره وبرضه جهره ولا يقدرش ايه؟ يدفع. اخذناهم بغتة فاذا هم مبلسون، يعني آيسون، ما فيش منفذ بقى للايه.
So when we take them as such, they are an absolute disappointment and wonder. There is no way out. That's it.
للخلوص من هذه الايه؟ المسألة. فقطع دابر القوم. ما دام القوم اللي ينسوا ما ذكروا به ربنا يفتح عليهم ابواب كل شيء وبعدين بقى فرحوا بما اوتوا واخذناهم بغته. يبقى ما دام اخذناهم بغته يبقى يجب ان تحمدوا الله ان خلص الله كونكم من ظالمين مفترين.
Then they are completely destroyed, in which you should be thankful that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala eliminate these people from this universe, so you better be good believers and worshipper and thankful.
تبقى دي نعمة. قطع دابر القوم شيء يحمد الله عليه. نعم، ما دام قطع دابر القوم، قطع دابرهم يعني ايه؟ آخرهم. قطع دابرهم يعني ايه؟
They were destroyed completely to the last one.
قال لك دي يحمد الله عليها، ده مصيبة حصلت. يقول لك لا، ده مصيبة لهم هم، إنما نعمة لمين؟
It is disaster and punishment, a trial for them, but is blessing for the believer, the good guys. Okay? We should thank Allah for them. We should thank that Allah drowned Pharaoh. And Allah gave Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam 25 victory and 25 war they attack him with. 24 he never started. And the war he started opening Mecca, it was a march with no fighting. Okay? And the Sahaba, after the Prophet, when they hear about Persian and Roman preparing huge army to attack them, of course they were smart, so they went ahead to stop that. Okay?
ولذلك كانوا يجوا مثلا كتير في بعض ايات القران يقول لك يا اخي الله سبحانه وتعالى يجي في بعض حاجات كده يقول فباي الاء ربكما تكذبان، مع انها اللي مذكوره مش نعمه. يقول له زي ايه يا حبيبي كده، زي ايه؟ يقول يا اخي مثلا يا معشر الجن والانس ان استطعتم ان تنفذوا من اقطار السماوات والارض فانفذوا لا تنفذون الا بسلطان فباي الاء ربكما تكذبان يرسل عليكما شواظ من نار ونحاس فلا تنتصران. وبعدين يقول فباي الاء ايه؟ وبعدين يقول برضه هناك يعرف المجرمون بسيماهم فيؤخذوا بالنواصي فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان هذه جهنم التي يكذب بها المجرمون يطوفون بينها وبين حميم ايه فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان. يبقى لو قال خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار يقول فبأي آلاء ربكما بالحاجات دي نقول له نعم. امال ايه؟ هو التهويل والتخويف بالتعذيب مش عشان الناس ما تعملش يبقى اذا يرسل عليكما شواظ من نار ونحاس، هذا الوعيد من الله مش نعمه؟ نعمه.
Also, Allah will demonstrate His punishment, which will happen to the unbelievers, as a favor of teaching you, so you can fear that you follow their footsteps. So when He mentioned this is a favor, telling you that you should be thankful, otherwise you follow them.
إذا الحق سبحانه وتعالى حينما يتجلى بنعمه على خلقه نقول الحمد لله. طب يجي على الظالم ويقطع دبره، طب ما نقولش فيه الحمد لله.
So when Allah give us favor, we thank Him subhanahu wa ta'ala, and when He get rid of the harm doer, the people who monopolize, the people who are corrupt, who are harming the other people, the weak people, and harming the orphan and the needy, who are killing people everywhere, plotting against people, putting people in jail who are innocent, you name it, shooting people like what happened in America and so forth, and try to run as a police for the universe, and so when some disaster happened to them, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because He's punishing the corrupter.
نقول الحمد لله أو الحمد لله الحمد لله فقطع دابر القوم، إن شاء الله نقولها يا رب، فقطع دابر القوم يا رب يا رب، فقطع دابر القوم الذين ظلموا والحمد لله رب العالمين.
So they have been destroyed to the last one, those who were harm doer. So it is fair. This is a spirit of relation, that Allah is all justice and these people are harmful openly, then Allah destroy them to the last one of them. Therefore, all praise be to Allah, the Lord of the worlds.
ثم يعود إلى استنطاقهم بالأخبار عن المرئيات اللي ما فيهاش جدل. قل أرأيتم إن أخذ الله سمعكم وأبصاركم وختم على قلوبكم من إله غير الله يأتيكم به.
Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala changed the logic of addressing and challenging them, if Allah takes your sight and your hearing, which ilah do you have that He can bring them back to you?
قولوا لنا كده، انت ليه بتاخد النعم اللي ربنا انعمها عليك وتستعملها لمضارته وعداوته ومحادة الله؟
Why you take the favor I give you, like the sight and the seeing and speaking and the movement of hands, the strength of your body, Why to take the favor of Allah, He created it for you, and you use it in harming and or worshipping false deities?
السمع ده انت اشمعنى عند الهدى بيبقى صم وعند كلمة الحق بتبقى بوك؟
Why with it is true a time for you to say the truth, you shut up, when a time of falsehood you speak up supporting it?
وعند الإيمان بالقضايا الخيرية تبقوا قلوبكم غلف. طب واشمعنى المصالحكم بقى؟ لو واحد قال لك اسمع يا فلان عايزين نسهر الليلة، سمعتها قوي ما شاء الله يعني.
And you don't hear even the one who admonish you. But when somebody telling you something of interest to you, you hear it very well and respond immediately.
الله ايه الحكايه دي؟ الله ايه يا سيدي رايك في فلان؟ دول لك مش عارف اشمعنى لسانك يعني يليق في دي. طب اذا ما خدت سمعك وخدت بصرك فيما يفيدك من محادثه الله. طب ربنا اللي اداك دي مش يقدر يسلبها منك؟ وقد فعل برضه ولا ما فعلش؟ مش في ناس ربنا حرمهم النعمه دي؟ اذا حرمان الله لبعض خلقه من نعم ادامها على خلقه تذكير لصاحب النعمه بالنعمه.
So it happened that Allah took people, make them blind, and people who make them deaf and dumb, and this is one way of reminding those who have favors to give what is due to the giver of favor, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, reminder for them. Then everybody is treated fairly accordingly. If Allah took somebody's sight and he is patient, Allah reward him paradise. And the one he see the lesson and he turn arrogant and he doesn't learn from that and he is harm doer and he doesn't learn from this, then he get in trouble at the end of the day.
تبقى وسيلة إيضاح في الكون. اوعى تفتكر ان ربنا كارهه، ده ربنا بده يعمله ايه؟ ولذلك احنا قلنا لما الواحد يبص كده يشوف واحد مثلا تكرم الله عليه بانه جعل له آفة العرج، اول شعور الله تمسك رجلك الحمد لله، ولا تشوفه بيتعسر وهو ماشي كده الحمد لله اللي حفظنا الله. اذا سلب النعمه من بعض الخلق حين توجد في بعض الخلق دي ايه؟ تذكير لنعمه الله على الناس.
So if Allah takes back some of his favor to from some of the people, which are less anyway, it is a reminder for the big majority about this favor so they can behave as an instrument of announcement and drawing attention.
انما تيجي في واحد عشان يعدل ايمان مين؟ عشان يعدل ايمان ملايين، تقوم تقول له طب وده ذنبه ايه يعني يعملوا وسيله ايضاح كده؟ يقول لك لا يا عبيط ما تعوضه، ده عوضه.
Then you say why Allah took the sight of this guy to use him as education for millions of people. We tell you don't worry, Allah will reward him in kind. Don't worry, it looks for you is not good for the guy, but is extremely great for him. I once in New Mexico went to buy a sheep. So the owner of sheep of my friend, he has a cow having a leg used to be broken, and a very big knee, and he feels sympathy because she's not walking very well. I was buying the sheep for like $50. He said, listen, I feel sympathy for this cow. Why don't you take it for $50? I said, this is a lot, man. He said, it's okay, don't worry. I said, okay, I don't have a trailer. Drop it for me for the butchering house. So I did. When we slaughter it, we found the leg which has a problem is very powerful. So the bone grow bigger and give it more strength, but she was just, juggling little when she's walking, but she has not having no pain or anything. But the guy looked at it, thought she is in pain. So this is an example that things happen and you don't know the reality of it. Guess what? I was lucky getting a cow for $50. I put in the deep freezer. God knows how many months I kept eating from it. Okay.
عن هذه أشياء، ولذلك أنا كنت قلت تعالى الواحد أكتع ما بيقدرش يقضي بإيده دي حاجة، طب وخلي يضرب واحد قلم به. القاضية.
And sometime you see a guy, his hand is kind of has little disability, but Allah put in it so power that if the guy is Islamic guy, he almost kill him. So we see the surface and we don't look in depth.
نعم. وتعالى لأصحاب العاهات تجدهم هم اللي متفوقين في مسائل كثيرة. يعني تعالى مثلا الأعمى تلتفت ربنا اداله خزينة من حفظ الأشياء.
And some of all this disability, Allah gives them like treasure. A guy who's blind, suddenly Allah turned his memory to be like photographic memory. That guy who's in the space, remember, I forgot his name, who is completely crippled and disabled, and he does a lot of like study and research. Doesn't mean he was number one, but I'm just giving you an example.
شاء الله عميت جنينا والذكاء من العمى فجئت عجيب الظن للعلم موئلا وغاض ضياء العين للقلب رافدا لعلم إذا ما ضيع الناس حصلا. الله وأعمى يقود بصيرا. إذا يعني هو يعمل دي عشان وسيلة إيضاح في الكون للنعم، إنما يعوض مين؟ يعوض صاحبها.
So Allah used some of his worshipper by taking some of their favor, apparent one, and he reward them in a different ways, including as in hadith, if somebody become blind and patient, Allah replace him only with paradise. So this is only used as an instrument of clarity and announcement to draw attention of fitted ones to start humble themselves and respect heaven and become good believer and good in ethics and faith and character.
يعوضوا يعوضوا. ولذلك تجد النابغين في أي حرفة من الحرف هم اللي تجد فيهم سمة من سمات النقص، يوم يحاول يجود في في المسألة الثانية دي علشان كل العبقريين. احنا قلنا زمان بيتهوفن اللي الناس فتنوا بالموسيقى بتاعته شكله أصلا المتهوفن اللي عمل السيمفونيات دي والمش عارف يطلع أصلا.
Like Beethoven, he is a top musician. Okay, he's Assam. He's like deaf dumb, So they some of them have like amazing power.
مفهوم ولا لا؟ وإلى لقاء آخر إن شاء الله.
So thank you very much for being patient. This is a little lengthy one, but usually the ones I will be choosing.
Your Muslim brothers in Europe are suffering.